And I'm live. Let's see if anybody's available today. Why not? Give everybody a minute here. If you're on the replay, welcome, and hello. Happy Friday. Oh man, Friday. We did it. We did it, my friends. We did it. Lindsay, hi. Happy Friday. I was about to ask how the weather is where you are, and then I remembered you're not in Wisconsin anymore. It's true. Lissa's here. Shannon's here. Hello. First time in a while. Hey, that's all right, Shannon. We've been busy. I wasn't even entirely convinced that I was going to go live today because I usually go live around 2:00 if I do it on Fridays, and I've been in the kitchen most of the day because we are snowed in, and I had nothing else to do. And I've decided, if you guys saw my post on Instagram today, that I decided that I'm going to actually take advantage of the snow day and kind of use it as a time of rest, because I've been having a very, very hard time with winter and my disease. They have not been getting along, and everything, literally everything. I have much worse fatigue than normal. I'm usually very, very energized, and I get tired eventually, like the rest of us do. But even if when I wake up in the morning, even if my mind is awake, my mind's like, yes, let's go. We can do this. My body says, mm-mm. And so I've been fighting with that. And then everything I do, I'm doing slower and it feels harder. And it's just, it's such an interesting thing, because I've literally struggled with this disease my entire life, and I'm still learning new things about it. And so when I realized yesterday, that the struggle was consistent, it wasn't just oh, I'm having a bad day, but it's constantly been like this since I got home from Christmas in Chicago. And Christmas in Chicago was not cold. It was 50 one day or 60 another day. It was ridiculous. It was beautiful outside. Half of the time we were down there, we didn't even wear jackets. And then when we came back is when I started to realize that I had slowed down a bit. And so I'm a member of this group on Facebook that has literally thousands of people, which up until not that long ago, I knew there were thousands of us, but I didn't know there were thousands of us, But there's a Facebook group of thousands of people with the same disease as me. And so I took to the Facebook group last night and I was like, I have to know, are you guys struggling? Do you struggle with just the cold? Now, I had to be very specific, because there are a lot of people in this group that like to use this disease as an excuse for literally everything. Everything is CMT's fault, no matter what it was, no matter if it's related or not. And so I wanted to ask specifically, with no other factors, do you notice a difference when it's cold outside? I feel fatigued. I feel movement is happening through molasses. I feel slower. I feel weaker. My hands feel a lot weaker. And everybody who responded was a resounding yes. Resounding yes, that the cold and CMT do not get along. So at least I'm not alone, which makes me feel very good. And all of that to say is I've been taking a real chill day today. Real chill day. I slept in until 7:45, which when you get up between 5:30 and 6:00, that's a pretty significant sleeping in. My husband is here. He is working from home today because we are in the midst, as we speak, we are in the middle of our first blizzard, snowstorm, winter storm warning. This is our first big snowstorm since we moved to Minnesota. And it's interesting because sometimes I'm looking out the window and I guess it's coming down a bit harder now, but it started with it's teeny tiny snow dust. That's what it is. It's just constant teeny tiny snow dust that's blowing around. And it started, I thought originally it was supposed to start at 10. It didn't start until 1:00. And it was just this little snow dust. But as I was, doing things, I checked the status of the roads and everything before I came upstairs to do this. So 2 hours into it actually snowing, roads are covered. You can't see everything. Everything is white. So even though it's the lightest snow dust ever, instead of big blizzard flakes, which is totally what I was expecting, and that could happen later, it's still having an impact. So we're just going to be in whiteout zone from now. It's not supposed to stop snowing until 10 a.m. tomorrow. So needless to say, my husband's working from home today, as is most of his team, instead of going to downtown Minneapolis. And I'm using the day to relax. So what have I done today? It took me a lot longer than it should have, but I just finished making banana bread, like legit full sugar, whole stick of butter, delicious banana bread. That is my sister's recipe. So good. And I made chili for dinner because I was like, this is going to be great. This can warm us. It's nice and healthy. And I'm going to make Kodiak Cakes protein cornbread to go with it, which I've never done before. I usually don't do cornbreads or biscuits or anything, but the last couple of times I've had a hankering for it, and I feel a little sad for people every time I see a car driving by. That car is going real slow. I just saw the UPS man go by not that long ago too, and I was like, you know what? Mad props to you, my UPS man friend. My mailman has apparently already been here. I'm not going to go get the mail because it's all the way down that hill, but I have to take a hot second and express my appreciation for all of the people who either have to be out in this weather anyway, because that blows. If your job is like delivering things, I don't know how extreme it has to be before they cancel it on you. And secondly, to the people whose job it is to go out in this and plow the streets and keep everything moving. Mad props to you people. I tell you what. Blizzard is a broad term for a type of snow. Yeah. Your chili is excellent with a little diced avocado and a squeeze of lime juice. I've never put avocado in there. I've never thought about doing that. Well, that's interesting. I don't have any limes, but I do have frozen avocado. That's interesting. That would be really good. But I already reached my avocado quotient for the day. I actually ended up not sleeping through breakfast, but like I wasn't hungry until 10:45 this morning. So my breakfast was my favorite Trader Joe's toast with guacamole and smoked salmon. I bought smoked salmon and I made an egg and put kale and salsa, and I bought some fresh strawberries and fresh blueberries. Like, it was good. And it was 9 points, and I didn't care because it was basically my lunch. And then I just ate some of that banana bread, which is also the other part of my lunch. So now I'm set till dinner. Happy day. Anyway, my friends, my weigh-in today, if you haven't already seen it, I am down 2.9 pounds. I really wish I had a microphone just so I could drop it. Boom. Like, I was so thrilled. Now, full transparency, it wasn't 2.9 pounds down from my last recorded weight, but when I got home from our Christmas vacation, I weighed myself. That I recorded. And then all hell broke loose, essentially. For about a week, I lost my mind there. And but I still stepped on the scale. I just refused to weigh it. But I'm 2.9 down from my highest weight that I have been since I've been home. I am 0.9 down from my initial weigh-in back from vacation. It's all a win. All of it. And the reason it happened, 110%, is simply this. I honestly tracked everything. Last night when I was sending my tracker to my accountability buddy, you saw the one lousy little weekly just hanging out there that I didn't use. I used all of my daily points and all but one of my 49 weekly points on iTrack Bites Carb Conscious, also known as Points Plus. And it was glorious. I didn't feel deprived at all. Now, my technique was interesting because I'm kind of like, I'm doing all of these things, but none of these things all at the same time. Hear me out. So I'm tracking everything regardless of what I'm trying. That's element number one. That is the most important element, because at the end of the day, as long as you land yourself in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose weight. Can I get an amen? Audrey, hi. And Lynn is here too. My friends are here. It makes me happy, which is great because my little buddy that I talk to all day hasn't even been hanging out with me, because Gracie is hanging out in the office with Eric because she's apparently his dog and not mine. He literally went up to the office, moved one of her beds in there, and she has been with him all day today. All day. So I don't even have my dog to talk to today. So this is nice. So that was, element and most important element number one. Element number two is I am kind of half-assing the Arbonne 30-day thing, which I'm not doing their complete elimination diet where they want you to eliminate gluten and dairy and vinegar and coffee. Coffee and sugars and sugar alcohol or substitutes, all that jazz. I'm not eliminating completely any of those things. Full transparency. I am, however, using all the products that are supposed to go with it. So I've been taking their digestion plus probiotic every morning. I've consumed the tea most days. I actually really like the tea. I'm very grateful for that. It doesn't taste like the tea colon grossness. It actually tastes really good to me, but it's because I drink a tea that tastes very similar for my throat. So I'm used to that flavor. But it's a nice, relaxing tea. So I really enjoy it. And I've been using their little fizz sticks, just all the products. I've been using their protein powder for all but one protein shake this week. And it's been going well. I've been using the products as directed, like I'm supposed to. No problem there. But I have not been eliminating any of the items that are in the diet. However, I have been limiting the items that are in the diet. So if you look at my tracker and stuff, I've consumed less dairy than I normally do. I have searched for alternate options to get my protein and fat in there. I've actually been using, I almost said Premier Protein, and that is not at all the brand I was looking for. Primal Kitchen products as my fat. And we meal prepped chicken this week, just a whole lot of chicken. So a lot of my meals, lunch and dinner, were pulled chicken and with lots of vegetables, lots and lots and lots of vegetables, and not as much fruit because I didn't have very much fruit around. And it's just been working really well. I have felt really full and not cravey, not snacky, and it's been really good. And the other thing that I have been doing with the limiting these things because of the Arbonne diet is I've been eating Fab4, which is higher. The focuses are fat, fiber, protein, and greens. That has been the key to me building all of my meals. So I've been making Fab4 smoothies out of the Arbonne shake and Arbonne fiber powder. And so I've been combining all of that. And all of that worked really, really well. There were a couple days where I only used one weekly. There were a couple days, even towards the end, where I went above and ate 5 or 6 weeklies or whatever, had an extra, my last 2 Lindor truffles and things like that. So I ate some sugar. I did the thing, but I focused on getting really, really high protein and making sure I was eating a lot of vegetables. And all of that must have balanced out somehow. I also drank a gallon of water or at least 100 ounces of water every day. But that's what I did, all within the confines. All of this is within the confines of my iTrack Bites app and the Bites budget that it gives me. Let me make that very clear. So while all of these other things are working very, very well for me, the bottom line is I still stayed within my points. And when you do that, and I tracked honestly everything. If I even ate avocado, I tracked the avocado, and I did it again today. I had my avocado, my 3-point thing that I like to track is 0. I was like, you know what? Let me just track it as 3, keep myself honest. And if I go over, I go over. That's fine. Today, I can guarantee you I'm going to have an over day because I'm pretty sure my banana bread already put me over. I pre-tracked my dinner today. Oh, no, I have 9 points. Yeah, I probably went over with my banana bread. But that's okay. That's okay. Like Audrey says, everything in moderation. So basically, the bottom line of this week's weekly weigh-in is if you work the plan works for you. End of story. See you next week. Seriously, that's what it is. And people regularly ask me, what can I do? Why isn't this working? Blah, 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 blah. And the first thing I always ask them is, are you tracking honestly? Because there are days that even I'm not tracking honestly. And there are a couple of things that I still track as 0, and I stand by my avocado and banana are interchangeable if at 0 points if you don't eat a banana. But just for fun, I'm like, let me just track my avocado this week. It's fine. And it's actually less than putting the almond butter in my smoothies, which I had plenty of almond butter this week too. I was not deprived in any way this week. I was just looking at what I was doing before I decided to do it. That's what it was. And I was like, no, even if you really want, do you really need the tortilla chips to go with your Southwest salad? No, I don't think you do. That saves you 4 points. Just eat the salad. And alas, I was full. I was satisfied and I moved on and it was great. I have 3 points left for the week, and there's a chance I'll be dipping into Fit Points tomorrow. And Fit Points are fine. And I really expected that I was going to dip into Fit Points, and I didn't. I was baffled by and I was like, I must have lied somewhere. Like, did I lie on my tracker? No, I didn't. I honestly tracked everything and had 1 weekly left. And that was with I don't even remember how many points I gave it. Oh, that's probably why I thought I was lying. We went out on Saturday, right? I think I talked about this on Tuesday. And I had a big old personal pizza that was like fig and gorgonzola on delicious crust and all that jazz. Like, I went out and had exactly what I wanted. Exactly what I wanted. And you know what? I tracked it or something like it because I couldn't find exact nutrition information. And I moved on. And the next day I made very healthy choices. And the balance worked out for me, which was amazing. John, hello. Haven't seen you in a hot minute. I'm bad. I'm not tracking my bite likes and tastes. I pretended they don't count as points. Yes. So I don't know if you saw my video about like the 3 weight loss hacks or whatever, but I stand by this so hard. I broke it today, but only because I was chopping up strawberries and I wasn't offended if I ate strawberries. But do not eat food. Do not put food in your mouth if you are standing up. Because a lot of times we will sit there and like as we're preparing food and everything, we will just pop things in our mouths without thinking about it. When it's fruit and vegetables, it doesn't really matter. But when it's not fruit and vegetables, it absolutely does matter. I don't care if you're on freestyle, like, or whatever it is now, Blue Plan, where like your chicken and your this and your that, and all these other things don't count. You're still putting the calories in there, you know? So I firmly believe that that's one of the things that helped me the most, and also making sure that I am eating produce with my food. Like I said, just this morning for breakfast, I had a big old side of strawberries and blueberries, plus I put kale in my eggs and salsa in my eggs, and I had the avocado on my toast. So everything had a piece of produce to back it up, and literally double the amount of food I ate. So yes, it was 9 points, but I ate a lot more food and I felt very satisfied by it. The don't stand while eating rule has been helpful. Eat the scraps from the cake pans, and there are just days I'm tempted. Oh yeah. I could totally see that being a thing. If you can eat the scraps from the cake pans, oh, I'd be in so much trouble. So much trouble, because I'm a big fan of that. I made the banana bread today, and I'm not going to lie, I sat down with the bowl and the thing and made sure that batter was all out of that bowl. And you know what? It was good batter. But I can definitely see how you could just pick apart and, oh yeah. I'm not eating while I'm standing. I don't realize how much extra I was eating. Right? And I can't even handle, like, every time. It took me a long time. Now I consciously do it. Like when I was chopping today, I was like, oh, you're about to eat while you're standing. And I popped the strawberry in my mouth. And I was like, okay, I'm at least aware of it now. But there were so many times from the time I watched the video that inspired me to do it, and even after I published my video, that like I would do it. And then like 10 seconds later, I'd be like, crap. I put food in my mouth while I was standing again, and it didn't even faze me. And that's what made me think, like, how many of us actually do that? Because I caught myself doing it all the time. And I've gotten so much better now at prepping my food and just like don't put it in your mouth until, again, I've been doing it with vegetables, like my roasted broccoli and whatever. I don't care if I'm eating roasted broccoli. But like my whole plate, and I will pick up my plate and I will go sit at the kitchen table, which is literally just 5 steps away in my kitchen, 5 steps away, but I will sit down and then I will eat my food. And it has made a world of difference, because you are focused on the fact that you are eating. You're focused on what you're consuming, how it tastes, how satisfying it is to you. And the mindfulness part plays a huge factor in it, right? Especially since you know how good the cake is where I work. Yep. Oh, don't I? Yeah. So all in all, I had a really good week. I worked out. My workouts were not great this week. I did go to Body Pump on Tuesday, and I went to Body Pump. No, not on Tuesday. Did I only go once this week? I sure did. I only went to Body Pump once this week. So Saturday I went to Body Pump, and then I went yesterday because I knew there was a very real possibility that we wouldn't be going tomorrow because the snow will still be falling. And if it's been falling for however many hours that will be, there's no way that even Eric's SUV is going to get us to the gym. So I that was what, got me to the gym. I'm like, you got to go to pump today. So I went out in these literally below zero, like wind chill of -20 temperatures, because it was beautifully sunny outside. It was a beautiful day in Minnesota. It was just really, really cold, which was a whole nother problem because I ran all of my errands yesterday out in the cold, which is one of the things that kind of kicked me in my gut for CMT wise. Because even if I'm in the warmth, just like the inhalation of the cold air, like, oh, it was a hot mess. There was one point yesterday, and I texted my husband about this because I was like, this is fascinating. I'm still learning. After I posted on Facebook, a woman sent me an article about a study that was done on CMT patients in extreme cold and how literally 1 minute of cold stress on CMT patients can increase their heart rate and drastically decrease the amount of oxygen in their blood. So they go into like a hypoxia type situation. And so I looked up what that was, and it's like shortness of breath and all these things. Like, you should go see a doctor if this happens regularly. And it's exactly what happened to me in the Sam's Club parking lot. I was putting the stuff in my trunk, not thinking about it. And then all of a sudden I realized I was having a really hard time breathing. I'm like, this is very weird. Very weird. Like, once I got in the car, I was able to sit for a second, warmer air. I took a couple deep breaths, but I was like, shook it off, moved on, only to find out later that day that article, that's literally what happens to CMT patients when we are exposed to extreme cold for 1 minute, 60 seconds. Can you even believe that? So, the winter has been hard. But all that to say, with the extra fatigue and energy that it takes to do life, I did not do a good job of working out this week. I did a DIY body pump workout at home on Tuesday, I think it was. I went to the gym and did the elliptical on Wednesday, and I body pumped on Thursday. And that was really it. So what that means is what I'm now understanding and coming to accept as truth is that fitness, while very good for your health, while something that you should absolutely 100% pursue for umpteen million other reasons other than weight loss, is not a primary or necessary component to losing weight. It is necessary to health. It is necessary to functionality. It is necessary to muscle growth. It is not necessary for fat loss. Which I knew. I've always known that. Like, yeah, you can cardio until the cows come home and lose weight faster eventually, but the second you slow down that pace that you lost at, the weight's going to come back on. And that's what happened to me after I hit goal. That's one of the reasons I think the weight came back, is because I backed off of the hardcore cardio workouts I was doing. So with the whole, my pursuit is fitness and health, not necessarily weight loss beyond breaking back into the 150s, it was a gratifying thing to be like, look, I did this without a rigorous fitness schedule. It's okay. It's okay for you to be tired and feel like you just can't today, as long as you keep eating what you planned on eating. It's okay. And that feels good to know that, have your body verify that is fact. So that was really, really good. What else was I just about to say? Oh, the other really key factor, I think I know how I stayed on track was meal prep and meal planning. And I was not anti-meal prep and meal planning. It was just something that I did not need to do for so long. And now we've been doing it for a couple of weeks. And it's so nice to know that I'm eating this for breakfast, this for lunch, this for dinner. This is how many points it's going to be. This is what I'll have left to play with, the end, when I wake up in the morning. It makes it so easy. So easy. It was not a challenge for me to do this week. It was not a challenge at all. We meal prepped on Sundays. We figured out our schedule and what was happening. I had to go out and buy some more broccoli to roast in the middle of the week. But oh my gosh, all you got to do is do a little bit of planning and a little bit of prepping, and you are good to go. How How easy is that? I will laugh if it slows down, stops there around the same time it starts here tomorrow. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, Lissa. I'm pretty sure the storm's going east. So if it hits you, then it's got to be done by me, hopefully, or it's a very, very, very large storm. That's so true about stopping exercise. I hit goal and stopped going to the gym. Well, that was stupid, right? Right? And I think okay, so I don't know in terms of like muscle building how it affects your body. Obviously, you have to keep it up or you're going to lose it. That just is what it is. I can't remember. I feel like I read something somewhere that like one missed day of working out is like 3 steps backwards or something. I don't know if that's true. And I'm not saying you have to work out every day. I'm learning that I don't have to work out every day. But what I'm saying is this. When I got down to goal the first time, I was a gym rat. And I wasn't a weightlifting, body pumping, let's get stronger gym rat. I was I'll spend an hour and a half on the elliptical gym rat. All the steps, all the calories burned. That's what mattered. And it worked. I burned all the extra calories and I stayed in my points. Happy day to me, the weight came off, right? But the second I started to lessen up because I was like, oh, I'm at goal. Oh, I have a bunch of jobs to do. Oh, I'm working on, moving and getting married and all these things. 5 pounds came back immediately because I couldn't spend 2 hours at the gym doing the elliptical. And now I don't want to spend 2 hours doing the elliptical. I will spend 45 minutes on the elliptical, maybe an hour if I want to. But I go to the gym now to lift the weights most of the day. Most of the days. The other day I went because sometimes you just need a good cardio session because cardio feels really good today because I didn't leave the house on Tuesday and I knew I was going to be stuck in the house this weekend. I was like, I just need to get out of the house. I need to go. I need to do something and it's going to be great. And so I went and I hopped on the elliptical. I watched my latest binge watch show on Netflix and, pressed play and stayed on the entire 45-minute episode. And that was great. And then I was like, okay, I feel much better. I hit my step goal. Let's go home. And so the intense cardio that I used to get it off was helpful and let me eat a little bit more. But if you take that intense cardio away and you continue to eat the same amount of food that you ate when you were doing the intense cardio 7 days a week, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Now, I don't know what my body does with muscle because I don't have very much of it. I'm gaining more of it. And so I do notice that there are days if I push myself very hard in body pump or in things like that and I'm sore, I'm also hungry because my body is working real hard to try and build these bad boys up, So I don't know. I know that the long-term implications of getting more muscle mass is you burn more calories naturally, which is great. So you got to keep up the muscle building or the muscle gains, but you don't need 50 million hours of cardio. You shouldn't because your body will become dependent on that. You need to focus on food first. Meal prep and planning is key. I've been getting more into meal prep. Yep. It's been helpful overall. Definitely need to find a good slow cooker recipe. Yeah, that's why I did chili because I was like, you know what? Chili, we're supposed to have plans tomorrow night. We're supposed to have plans Sunday afternoon and Sunday night. And we have plans Monday. So I was like, okay, I don't need meals for any of these meals. And the options of going out are probably going to be less healthy. And that's okay because I got Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to be as healthy as I can be. It's all in the balance, right? All in the balance. And so that's why I was like, you know what? What if I just made chili? Because chili is warm, it's inviting, it'll warm the frozen bodies from the inside out, and it's very, very healthy. I'm like, this is a great idea. And then it's one and done. I made enough chili for Eric and I to eat today and tomorrow and Sunday for a meal if we need to, although we shouldn't, but heaven only knows what's actually going to happen out here. So we're prepared for it. Now, we also have a frozen pizza because sometimes you just need fun food to eat when you're locked in the house all day. But I prepped to the best of my ability. And then I got a coupon for, I'm trying my 3rd subscription service. I got a coupon for Home Chef in the mail for like 50% off your first box. So I got us 4 The garage door is opening. I feel like I should be concerned that the garage door is opening. He can't go anywhere. We have no roads. I wonder if he's going to go and shovel the driveway? For what? I don't know. I'm not quite sure what he's doing. I'm very, very curious. I'm very curious. I'm going to go look. Give me a hot second. I can't even see anything. So it's so white outside. If you look right out my office window, you see part of our roof first, and then you see the end of the driveway. I can't tell where the roof ends and the driveway begins. It's just all covered in fluffy white. I have no idea where the roof ends and the driveway begins. I don't know what Eric's doing out there. But to his credit, he's Florida boy. He still thinks snow is pretty. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if he's just going out there to stand out there in it for a second. Just to be like, oh, look, it's snowing. Because he would do that. He would do that. He loves watching snowfall. He thinks snow is pretty. It's because he didn't grow up with it. But anyway, I got Home Chef. So I got 4 meals from Home Chef coming. 1 steak, 1 pork, 1... Now the garage is closing again. 1 steak, 1 pork, 1 chicken, and 1 salmon dish. So I'm like, that's 4 meals. Perfect. So I don't know. I meal planned to the best of my ability with the weirdness that is this week. And chili sounded like the right choice. Anyway, all that to say that meal planning and meal prepping was super, super important to my weight loss this week. Super important. That's part of why I was so stressed during step ed near the end. I was worried about maintaining that level of activity. Yeah, you can't maintain the level of step ed activity. It's meant to be, and it depends where you are. For someone like me who had like my stretch goal days were like 17,000 steps, that is absolutely not sustainable for me. Absolutely not. But for me, it was that kick in the pants I needed to like make 10,000 feel easy again, you know? And 10,000 is easy. I haven't done a single bit of working out today, and I'm at 6,000 steps just because I've been puttering around the kitchen and doing stuff like that. And that's great. That's the whole point. The big calorie burner and movement thing that we have to focus on is not the fact that we go to the gym. It's all of the movement and activity we get outside of going to the gym. That is the important part. That is the part that's going to make the biggest difference in your weight loss and in your health and overall activity level. The gym is great, but this stuff, the taking the stairs, the parking far away, the walking around your house, doing chores, all that jazz, that's what's going to make the bigger difference. The NEAT, it's called. Yeah. So it is pretty if you don't actually have to deal with it. It's true. It's pretty, but the problem is I don't know how long this is going to take to clear up. But for now, like the reason I'm not totally freaking out about this snowstorm is because I know that in my car, that is the one that will not survive in the snow, don't have to go anywhere until maybe Monday. So that's very helpful to me to be like, oh, I don't actually have to worry about this. Okay, cool. Been terrible hitting my step goal lately, but I haven't really tried. Yeah. Some days I have to try, some days I don't try, but I always try to make it a point to at least get to 10,000. Took a look at my workouts, so I'm pretty sure this has been my best week in regards to heart rate, cardio zone versus fat burn zone. That's good. Yeah, so that's all I really have for the weekly weigh-in this week. Down 2.9, feeling fabulous about it, crediting meal prep and meal planning and high protein and higher fat. Higher fat? Yes, let me just tell y'all. Let's start with Friday here. Friday, I consumed 65.7 grams of fat, 90 carbohydrates, 91 protein. Saturday, 99 grams of protein, 151 carbs, and 82 grams of fat. That was the day we went out for pizza with friends. Sunday, only 56 grams of protein. How did I do that? That was an interesting day. Oh no. But 39 grams of fat, that was a lower fat day. On Monday, 105 grams of protein, 97 carbs, 46 fat. Tuesday, 78 grams of protein, 54 fat, 80 carbs. Wednesday, 94 grams of protein, 160 carbs, 65 grams of fat again. And then yesterday was 104 grams of protein, 130 carbs, and 59 fat. I went over my fat goal almost every day. Almost every day. Fat is not the problem. So higher fat, higher protein. That's where you got to focus. Higher fat, high protein, lots of fruits and vegetables, mostly vegetables. Next week will be crazy for us. We have lots of meals out, but I'll meal plan for the days I'm at home. My birthday is Tuesday, and Dad's is Sunday, and friends are coming from Dublin next weekend. Audrey, I need you to shoot. Where is, oh, it's all the way up there. I have a birthday card that I'm going to send you. It's supposed to be in the mail, and it was supposed to get to you by your birthday. And that's not going to happen because my stamps just came yesterday, and the mailbox is all the way over there. So I'm thinking of you. I'm sending you one. It's just not going to get to you in time. I find if I don't hit 10,000 a day, I don't lose as much. Same. Like I have to. So for me, while the working out is important, I know that I have to move my body. If I just decided to do what I truly want to do, especially on days like today, which is sit and do absolutely nothing, that's not going to, then I can stay on track and then my body will still be like, but you didn't do anything. But as long as I'm active, as long as I don't have to be working out, but I cleaned the kitchen, I cooked some food, I'm going to use my under the desk elliptical to get the rest of my steps in today. As long as I do something, it will be okay. But I completely agree with you, John. That's if you don't get to the 10,000 or whatever the number happens to be for you. For me, my goal is to always get to the 10,000 because I see regular results as long as I'm eating on track, as long as I get that much movement. And anything above that is just gravy or icing on the cake or whatever food analogy you want to use. I've been ignoring the step goal, focusing simply on doing a workout and working on other goals. So I've been, for a hot second, I had my husband's old Apple Watch and it died, which, rightfully so. It's 4 years old and was super glued into the base. It was fine. But once we got home from Christmas, I was going to actually leave my Fitbit off and I was going to use the Apple Watch. The Apple Watch tracks activity and your activity goals differently. It still keeps track of your steps, but that is not one of the things that gives you those closed rings. It's like standing, I can't remember what it is, standing, movement, and working out, like minutes working out. And so it's just a different way of looking at activity. And I thought that would be really interesting for someone who's a step whore like me. Like I want all the steps because that's the metric I know how to track. So I thought it would be really interesting to step away from that. Is that my husband? No, I don't think that's my husband. It could be my husband though. I don't know. I should probably go see what he's doing. But it's a different way to track it, with the, I keep looking at my right wrist because that's what I have the Apple Watch on. But just making sure you're standing, making sure you're getting some movement. I think it's a minute of movement or maybe it's a minute standing. I don't remember. I'm no Apple Watch Pro, but it would have been interesting to let go of the step goal for a while and just be like at the end of the day, oh, and I wonder how many steps I got instead of focusing on how many steps you got. I thought that would be interesting, but alas, the Apple Watch had other plans and now it is dead. So womp womp, next time, I suppose. But anyway, I think that's all I've got, my friends. So happy Friday. I hope if there are any of you that are dealing with the same snowstorm that I am or something very similar, I hope you are staying safe and I hope you are staying warm. Stay tuned. Hopefully next week I will come back with another positive weigh-in. Who knows? We will see what happens. But yeah, that's all I've got. Thanks for coming to hang out with me, my friends. Have a very happy weekend. There's the snowplow. We have hit the trigger amount, my friends. We have hit it. Our snowplow company has a certain number of inches that has to fall before they come out. I think it's 2 inches, but It's time. It's time. So I'm going to go stir my chili, see what my husband is doing, and watch the snowfall. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, my friends.